Mr. President of the Republic, Madam President of the House of Representatives, Ministers, Members of Parliament, Excellencies, distinguished guests, business associates, and a special welcome, of course, to our colleagues from the Cyprus Union of Shipowners, and of course, last but by no means least, Chamber members joining us from Cyprus and from abroad. Welcome to our 35th Annual General Meeting, a day after the EU Maritime Day, and thank you all for joining us on this special occasion for us. Warm wishes to the many. I'm sure Konstantinos and Eleni is celebrating their name day today. And of course, before we start, I'll kindly ask you to switch off your mobiles or at least put them on silent mode. And as we always say in these occasions, there is no fire schedule for today. So in case you hear the fire alarm, please evacuate the dwellings using the available exits to your left and the meeting points outside at the car park area of the hotel facing the hotel. In the event of a personal medical emergency, please contact one of the staff members of the hotel or one of our own secretariat. As we also did last year, we're doing it again. We would be completely paperless AGM. So please make sure you use these seating cards. You have to scan the barcode so you can see both the annual general meeting program, the documents, the speeches, and more importantly for us, our annual report of 2023, in which you can read all about the various activities and the work that the Chamber has done last year. Moving in also with the times, I need to advise you that we are broadcasting live on YouTube, so please stay awake. Ladies and gentlemen, as I'm sure you'll hear today many times, the Cyprus Shipping Chamber was established in 1989 with 17 founding members. Being an old-timer myself, I'm very pleased and moved to see some of the founding members with us today. As a taste of what the Chamber President Themis Papadopoulos will address in his remarks and speech in a minute, of course, after the two presidents' speeches, please now watch a very, very short video we have produced, ending with our refreshed logo, which we launched on the occasion of our 31st anniversary. And of course, this has been purposely entitled Cyprus Shipping Chamber, 35 years in 35 seconds. Enjoy. We shall now properly commence our annual general meeting, and of course with a speaker that knows and appreciates our industry very well for many years. It is an honor to welcome here today to address both our members and our guests for a second time in a row, in less than over a year actually when he took office, His Excellency the President of the Republic, Mr. Nikos Christodoulidis. Mr. President, the floor is yours.
Madam Speaker, dear Themis, dear friends, Your Excellencies, it is a great pleasure to address the 35th Annual General Meeting of the Cyprus Shipping Chamber. Over the years, the Chamber has proven to be an invaluable partner of the government of the Republic of Cyprus. And I have to say that your professionalism, dedication, and expertise have been instrumental in steering our collective efforts towards the continuous advancement of the Cyprus shipping sector. Together, we have overcome challenges, we have seized opportunities, and we have achieved remarkable milestones. Together, we have elevated Cyprus to the forefront of the global maritime landscape. The shipping sector represents today 7% of Cyprus GDP and has a substantial contribution to the development of our economy. Equally important is its role to the social and political development of our country. Dear friend, my presence here today, together with 3 ministers, demonstrates once again the unwavering commitment of the government to support the shipping sector. I would like to assure you that we will continue to work towards the sustainable growth of Cyprus shipping, safeguarding at the same time the competitiveness of European shipping. And I hope that the new European Union Commission, the new Commission, will understand the geopolitical importance for the European Union of the shipping sector. Being a global industry, shipping operates in a complex and unique framework. It is vulnerable to the volatile geopolitical climate and political and economic developments, facing numerous and unpredictable challenges. The green and digital transition, the war in Ukraine following the illegal Russian invasion, the situation in Gaza, and the global shortage of ship officers are only few of the current challenges. Challenges that can be tackled only by collective approach that will facilitate international solutions. As a small island country with a strong maritime history, we have always relied on policies based on principles and values. And in this context, cooperation between the public and private sector is of paramount importance. Your contribution is without doubt invaluable, and I'm confident that through our strong collaboration, we will be able to develop policies and undertake actions that will successfully address existing challenges. Ladies and gentlemen, gradually and over the years, Cyprus has evolved into a full-fledged shipping center, combining a prestigious sovereign registry of ships with high standards of safety and a domestic shipping industry renowned for its excellent quality services. Last year, we celebrated 60 years since the establishment of the Registry of Cyprus Ships, and during this time we have managed to maintain a robust, high-quality ship registry which ranks in 3rd place in Europe and 11th worldwide. The straightforward taxation system, the high level of ship safety, the full protection of financiers and mortgage lenders, the specialized knowledge and experience of human resources, the 24/7 service, the 0 registration fees, constitute a competitive and attractive framework of services and advantages provided by the Cyprus Ship Registry. At the same time, during the past year, the Shipping Deputy Ministry of Shipping, implementing a priority that has been set when this government took office, has spearheaded numerous strategic initiatives and innovative actions. These initiatives aim to upgrade and strengthen the services provided by the Shipping Deputy Ministry, and we are very pleased with the positive and very promising results. Let me mention a few of those very important achievements. An increase of 5.5% during the last 6 months in the fleet of Cyprus-flagged seagoing vessels. An increase of 14% to the number of companies registered in the Cyprus tonnage tax system, reaching a total of 420. The establishment of the Advisory Committee on Competitiveness and Quality Enhancements of the Cyprus flag and the Advisory Committee on Competitiveness of the Cyprus Maritime Cluster. Their aim to further enhance the competitiveness of the Cyprus flag and Cyprus shipping. The commencement of operations of the One-Stop Shipping Center in November. The center aims to provide quality service to all shipping companies, as well as companies whose activities are related to shipping and are based in our country. The re-election of Cyprus in the Council of International Maritime Organization, an additional demonstration of Cyprus' strong voice in shipping in international fora. The allotment of government land for the construction of the new premises of the Shipping Deputy Ministry. The approval by the Council of Ministers of a revised set of green incentives to reward ships that demonstrate effective greenhouse gas emissions reductions. From January 2024, the annual tonnage tax for ships registered in the Register of Cyprus ships will be reduced by up to 30% for each ship that demonstrates effective greenhouse gas emissions reduction measures, ensuring that ship owners are rewarded for their efforts for decarbonization of the shipping sector. The upgrading and targeted evolution of the Maritime Cyprus 2023 conference, organized last October, resulted in a record high attendance with over 1,000 participants from 35 countries, establishing it as one of the best and most high-quality maritime conferences worldwide. Dear friends, I'm very pleased to see that in today's world, the participation of women in the maritime industry is increasing. The government, as you know, attaches great importance and is an active supporter of gender equality, diversity, and inclusion. We take pride in promoting women empowerment. We take pride in providing equal opportunities to all, irrespective of their gender. Through our actions, we are breaking the stereotypes of the male-dominated maritime sector. In Cyprus, you can find women in all ranks and in all positions and roles within the maritime sector, both offshore and on board, employees, managers, CEOs, government officials, crew, officers, captains, and of course, ministers. Among the many actions we are engaging for promoting in action gender equality and women empowerment is the establishment of the Gender Equality Award in Cyprus shipping. The award is bestowed annually to persons irrespective of their gender who have made significant contributions to advancing gender equality and women empowerment in the maritime sector. The first award of this kind was awarded yesterday to Mrs. Despina Theodosiou, who was also the recipient of the first IMO Gender Equality Award as a candidate of Cyprus. Congratulations, Despina, very well deserved. Dear friends, I do recognize that more can be done in advancing our maritime industry. I also recognize that in order to be more effective, more productive, and even closer cooperation between the government and the industry is required. In this context, further objectives have been set and certain actions and initiatives are in progress in order to further promote the efficiency of the shipping deputy ministry. In this regard, just to mention one example, the full digitalization of the services provided by the Shipping Deputy Ministry is anticipated to be completed at the end of this year. I wish to take today's opportunity to reaffirm the firm commitment of the government to supporting the shipping industry and addressing the pressing issues facing our maritime community. We will continue to work closely with industry stakeholders, regulatory bodies, and international and European Union partners to develop innovative solutions, foster collaboration, and ensure the long-term sustainability and competitiveness of the Cyprus shipping sector. In closing, I wish to extend my sincere gratitude to the Cyprus Shipping Chamber, its esteemed board of directors, and its esteemed members for their unwavering dedication and invaluable contribution to the economy, to the shipping community, as well as the Society of Cyprus. Together, we have achieved remarkable success, and together we will overcome the challenges that lie ahead, emerging stronger, more resilient, and more united than ever before. Let us continue to chart a course towards a brighter, more prosperous future for Cyprus and the global and European shipping industry. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. We noted, as you did also last year, with great appreciation, your kind words about the Cyprus Shipping Chamber and, of course, to our valuable contribution in the development of Cyprus shipping. We sincerely even thank you more for your continuous commitment to continue shaping us your top priorities, both in Cyprus as well as we just heard on the European Union, which is very much appreciated and needed for us as an industry to face the challenges ahead. In return, of course, will be impolite for us, and of course we mean it. We pledge our full support towards yourself, your government, and of course our ministry and our minister, Mrs. Marina Hadjimanoulis, we will thank today. Mr. President, you mentioned yourself, but allow us to repeat it. I get paid to say these things sometimes. Our shipping industry, of course, has developed a well-known expertise and a well-known and appreciated credibility. Please use it in your efforts to improve the image of Cyprus shipping free of charge and at zero notice requirement. Ladies and gentlemen, being a captain on a ship, having many seafarers from many nationalities having various opinions and views, is a bit like being the President of the House of Representatives with many political parties have many different views. And in order for the Parliament to work, the President has to be able to navigate well between the different views in order to bring the ship safely to the next port of call. Having observed the commitment of the President of the House of Representatives, Ms. Anita Dimitriou, to improve even more the efficiency and the transparency of the way that a Parliament with many political parties operates, we are sure that you'll be able to qualify as a very capable sea captain as well. Your Excellency, please, for your address.
Thank you. Thank you so much for this impressive introduction. I will say, Your Excellency, President of the Republic, ministers, members of the parliaments, Honorable President and members of the Board of Directors of the Cyprus Shipping Chamber, Director General, honorable members of the Cyprus Shipping Chamber, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. Nearly 1 year ago, during the previous annual general meeting of the Cyprus Shipping Chamber, I commenced my address by pointing out and emphasizing the ways that global and regional stability were impacted by the turbulent events unfolding in Europe. Unfortunately, a year later, we regrettably see that our world has taken a turn for the worst, thus intensifying our worries, difficulties, and challenge. Besides the ongoing war in Ukraine, which has generated tremendous political and economical instability in Europe, the brutal terrorist attack on October 7, 2023, against the State of Israel has sparkled yet another war in the Middle East. Within that framework, the global shipping industry and the world trade have been increasingly hindered by piracy in the Red Sea and the Gulf of Aden, driving up prices and causing major disruptions to the global supply of goods and commodities. I would like to point out that at the epicenter of all my high-level international activities representing the House of Representatives has been a clear political message based on principles. We condemn the violence, tortures, and inhuman treatment, and we strongly support an imminent and viable ceasefire in Israel and the Gaza Strip, calling all parties to engage in a diplomatic peace-seeking process that will benefit the peoples in the region and worldwide. And that is why we are presenting a multi-humanitarian corridor as an excellent initiative, Your Excellency, on behalf of Cyprus. It's really important, Cyprus to play a catalyst, and Cyprus can play a catalyst role to the stability that we want and we need to implement in the broader region. In the face of global and regional adversities, the shipping sector of Cyprus has continuously demonstrated not only impressive resilience, but also steady growth and fast-paced development, always becoming one of the most prominent and credible economical pillars of our country. Despite the complexities arising from the post-pandemic recovery, the worsening of EU-Russia relations, the current Middle East crisis, the Houthi attacks, and the long-standing Turkish embargo, The Cyprus fleet still ranks 11th worldwide and 3rd in the EU, whilst the shipping sector's contribution to the national GDP amounts to almost 7%, pouring a staggering $623 million into the real economy solely through ship management in 2023. At the same time, the shipping industry strongly enhances local employability, representing approximately 2% of the total gainfully employed population. In addition, Cyprus boasts robust maritime infrastructure, a favorable tax regime, a highly skilled multilingual workforce, and a business-friendly legal framework. Indeed, ladies and gentlemen, the numbers are impressive, highlighting shipping as one of the most successful and dynamic industries in our island. We do recognize that these achievements are primarily attributed to the ongoing efforts of the people and stakeholders within the Cyprus shipping industry. It is your sheer professionalism and utmost commitment that constitute the driving forces behind the continuous reinforcement and enhancement of Cyprus' maritime sector, ensuring its competitive edge at the global stage. For this reason, the House of Representatives and I personally praise and congratulate the Cyprus Shipping Chamber for its outstanding work and significant contributions over the past 35 years towards transforming Cyprus into a credible and high-performing maritime hub. It is noteworthy that the Chamber's activities extend beyond the limits of shipping business, encompassing social initiatives that benefit Cypriot society, emphasizing the societal dimension of shipping and fostering a maritime culture. And we need that culture. At the same time, the Chamber's international reach plays a vital role in promoting maritime professions and representing the interests of Cyprus shipping industry in the international stage, engaging with numerous significant international forums and organizations. On the occasion, of celebrating the 25th anniversary of the establishment of the Cyprus Shipping Chamber here today, I firmly reaffirm on behalf of all the members of the House of Representatives our Parliament's dedication to collaborating closely with all stakeholders for the progress of the shipping sector in Cyprus. The Parliament has consistently supported all legislative efforts by the executive authority to develop specialized regulatory frameworks that facilitate the establishment of companies engaging vessels under the Cyprus flag, as well as the legislation aiming at further strengthening navigation safety and the protection of marine environment. Beyond its legislative work, the House of Representatives increasingly places shipping and maritime issues among priorities, particularly in its international activities through the inclusion of related matters in its exchanges with other parliaments as well. To this end, we also affirm our readiness to contribute constructively to the forthcoming challenges and threats in the shipping industry and Cyprus' broader maritime sector. We look forward to work closely with the Chamber to enhance the efforts towards the green and digital transformation of the industry and its associated services and administration, as well as to attract highly skilled and well-trained young individuals for careers at sea, alongside ensuring adequate involvement and representation of women, of course, in the shipping sector. Undoubtedly, however, our foremost priority remains the resumption of negotiations on the Cyprus issue within the framework of the United Nations, aiming to achieve a fair, a functional and viable solution that will robust Cyprus' vital economic sectors, including, of course, the shipping industry for the benefit of its people. Honorable members of the Cyprus Shipping Chamber, Your Excellencies, dear guests, there is no favorable wind for the sailor who doesn't know to which port he, she wants to sail. I'm fully confident in saying that the people of Cyprus involved in the maritime sector, many of whom are present here today, have a precise direction for Cyprus' maritime journey, as they have a clear strategic vision aimed at transforming Cyprus into an even more significant and influential contributor to maritime policy and establishing Cyprus as an attractive shipping hub dedicated to sustainable development and excellence. We express our gratitude once again for your dedication, hard work, and accomplishments. And of course, we will continue to be in the same side for the benefit of Cyprus and also, of course, for the benefit of shipping industry. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Kapitanis, Madam President, for your supportive words about the Cyprus Shipping Chamber. Although the President already took the wind off my sails, allow me to repeat that, knowing how personally you are committed to gender equality and promoting women, we are absolutely certain that you are as equally proud as we are for our own board member, Mrs. Despina Theodosiou, who has been, as the President already said, the first recipient worldwide for the first IMO Gender Equality Award, followed, of course, by a very similar, equally important for us, gesture by the Cyprus government, led by Mrs. Hadjimanolis, to offer yesterday the Cyprus Shipping Gender Equality Award. Despina, we're very proud of you. Thank you.
Very, very good.
Closing my comments about the Parliament, of course, all the parliamentarians that are here, and I'm glad to see we have across the parties representation. You know, we've been actively participating in Parliament for more than 3 decades. And we strongly believe that if it is an industry such as global as industry as shipping is to be able to maintain its competitiveness, we need to have the support of all political parties. And without any further delay, let me just remind you, Madam President and party representatives, that shipping is truly a matter of national economy. Dear members and guests, we come now to the part of the AGM where I'll call to the podium our own President, Mr. Themis Papadopoulos, for his address. Mr. President.
President of the Republic, President of the House of Representatives, Ministers, Members of Parliament and party representatives, Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you all to our 35th Annual General Meeting. Special thanks to the President of the Republic and the President of the House, who have both managed to steal precious time from their very busy work schedules to be with us here today. President Christodoulidis, thank you for your very positive comments about both the Chamber and our industry. Through your many years of public service, you have been one of our strongest and most active supporters, and for this we thank you. I know that Minister Hadjimanolis, sitting here with us today, will verify our continuous readiness to support your government, and please rest assured we are constantly working towards strengthening both our flag and the broader maritime cluster. Madam Speaker, your warm and positive words for shipping and for the Chamber are well noted, and just your presence here today reaffirms the strong support that our industry enjoys across the political spectrum. For this, we thank you. I'm also delighted to welcome our friends from the Cyprus Union of Shipowners, represented today by Mr. Polis Hadjiouanou. Dear guests, 35 years ago, on the 26th of January 1989, 17 shipping visionaries representing the first founding member companies came together and established the Cyprus Shipping Council, as the association was originally called. The very same pioneering spirit, determination and commitment to excellence has been the association's driving force behind its subsequent growth and success under the vigilant eye of all 7 past presidents and numerous board members. 3.5 decades later, the association has achieved remarkable milestones, overcome challenges, and expanded from just 17 to over 200 member companies today, comprising world-renowned ship-owning, ship management, and an array of various types of shipping-related companies. As of the beginning of 2024, the combined owned and managed fleet of the Chamber members is in excess of 2,800 ocean-going ships with 108 million gross tons, while the overall shipping sector in Cyprus generates 7% of our GDP. Looking back on this remarkable journey, one could select numerous achievements and milestones, but I will briefly focus on a couple. The first is that through its 35 years of existence, the Chamber has repeatedly proven that it offers a unifying platform for all our members, allowing us to collectively pursue the good of Cyprus shipping. This is not only a positive reflection on the Chamber and its members, but more importantly, gives successive governments the confidence that they have an honest, hard-working counterpart. This has been the cornerstone of the success we've had in building up the shipping industry here in Cyprus. The second milestone I wish to highlight is the successful conversion of what used to be known as the offshore company system into an EU-approved tonnage tax system, which was so successful that most of the European Union ended up copying it with similar models. What began as a series of endless no's ended with the blueprint for European shipping. The Chamber was absolutely instrumental in helping the government build the case for a tonnage tax system, which has effectively saved shipping in Europe and prevented its relocation to other markets. Ladies and gentlemen, having looked back, let us now look to the present in order to highlight some of the main challenges that we have before us. It is becoming increasingly clear that full decarbonization of the maritime sector can only be achieved if all stakeholders are motivated to play their part in a massive scale-up for the production of clean fuels, which in turn will require significant new investments in renewable energy resources. The Chamber is a strong supporter of an IMO fund and rebate system based on a fixed contribution per ton of CO2 emitted, which presents a credible proposal to not only create a global level playing field, but also to create a vehicle that will have the ability to fund projects that will help reach the net zero emissions by 2050 target and partially help to compensate the first movers. We appreciate, however, that a number of competing proposals are on the table at the IMO. And we believe that for the industry, the best thing is to have some midterm measures agreed at the earliest possible, and we are ready to work constructively on any measures to achieve an agreement at MEPC 82 later this year, rather than risk no agreement. Delays will only increase the risk that other countries will emulate the EU ETS system, and we may end up with the nightmare of completing global schemes. At EU level, the two new regulations that will affect ship operators trading to, from, and within Europe have been concluded in 2023. The revised EU ETS has already entered into force since the 1st of January of this year, and the Fuel EU regulation will enter into force on the 1st of January 2025. On the ETS, with the strong support of the Chamber and the leadership and lobbying of EXA, we managed to include text in the directive that recognizes the responsibility of the commercial operator as the ultimate responsible party for the payment of the CO2 allowances. Moreover, we secured specific allocation of allowances amounting to 2 billion euros in the EU's Innovation Fund to be invested in the maritime sector to assist with its decarbonization efforts, and secured a 3-year phase-in period with incremental payment of annual allowances until we reach 100% payment in 2026. At these early stages, however, and while the industry is ready to comply, shipping companies are facing problems with the lack of preparedness by EU member states to meet their obligations under the directive. On the Fuel EU, again, through EXA's lobbying and our support, This new regulation also recognizes the responsibility of the commercial operator if fit-for-purpose fuels are not used, and for the first time also recognizes the central role of fuel suppliers and their responsibility to supply fuels that will be necessary to comply with the new regulations, by holding them responsible with fines if they do not supply compliant fuels. Earlier this year, we strongly welcomed the adoption of the Net Zero Industry Act by the European Parliament, which includes clean fuels for shipping in the list of net zero technologies and introduces a benchmark for the Commission and EU member states to match 40% of the deployment needs for clean fuels with production capacity. This is a vital step to ensure that clean fuels for shipping are made available in the market at an affordable price, as a prerequisite for shipping to meet its target under the Fuel EU Maritime Regulation. Even with all the goodwill in the world, the shipping industry cannot deliver decarbonized shipping on its own. The scale of the challenge ahead is huge, and we require action from both states and private enterprise in order to get anywhere near our targets. At the same time, we noted in 2023, and unfortunately also this year, geopolitical challenges are causing severe disruption in trade routes, and not only hinder international trade, but also the lives of our seafarers. We have repeatedly raised our voice against the attacks in the Red Sea and continue to work for open seas and safe trading routes for all seafarers. After all, let us not forget that shipping transports some 90% of world trade to our homes and businesses. To an island such as Cyprus, that's close to 100%. On the taxation side, earlier in my address, I made a specific reference to the big success that Cyprus shipping has had upon accession into the EU, had upon its accession into the EU by implementing its specialized shipping taxation system, the well-known tonnage tax. It is therefore of utmost importance that this specialized shipping taxation system remains unaffected by the forthcoming implementation of the OECD Pillar 2 rules. Everybody recognizes that ship owning and ship management are not the intended targets of this new global tax regime, which has been designed to ensure that the big global multinational corporations are paying their fair share of taxes. And yet, if we are unable to correctly apply this into our national tax legislation, we run the risk of creating complete confusion with two different tax rules for the same activity. It is clear in our EU-approved tonnage tax system that income that qualifies under this regulation is not exposed to any other taxation. But unfortunately, if we do not approach the matter of the Pillar 2 rules with this in mind, we will be creating precisely that confusion. I've been repeatedly asked how many companies would be affected today if Cyprus were to adopt these rules verbatim. And my answer is simple. Every company that today falls under the tonnage tax system will be worried. We are in very close cooperation with both the shipping and finance ministries and remain very optimistic that a workable solution can be found. Similarly, from a living and working conditions for seafarers' perspective, the Chamber still remains ready and anxious to work intensively with the Ministries of Shipping, Labour and Finance towards improving the existing system applied in Cyprus on the important matter of social insurance for EU seafarers employed on Cyprus flag ships. I am confident, knowing the importance that our government places on shipping, that both matters will get the priority and attention they deserve. Mr. President, we fully appreciate that Cyprus has had a difficult time with its international partners over the past few years. The banking crisis of 2013, as well as the behavior of certain sectors of our economy, have caused damage to the reputation of Cyprus, and you have very rightly made it a priority of your government to restore our good name. Shipping is an industry that we can and should be proud of. It has given our little country a strong voice on the international stage, and is home to numerous world-class companies. Over the past decade, we have built up a resident shipping industry that is the envy of many, and I am confident that we would not do anything that would risk this industry relocating to outside the EU. Dear guests, as this year the Chamber is celebrating 35 years of service, I feel the need to make a specific reference to our long-standing efforts to promote shipping as a promising and exciting career both ashore and at sea for young people in Cyprus. When we started 35 years ago, shipping was not part of any educational curriculum here in Cyprus. Today, we are proud to have more than 120 executives, shipping executives in Cyprus, having qualified as fellows of the Institute of Chartered Shipbrokers, while more than 1,100 staff at Chamber member companies have successfully completed the Understanding Shipping course. Similarly, we are pleased to mention that for a number of years now, shipping is offered at both undergraduate and postgraduate level at state and private universities, whilst many youngsters opt to follow the exciting seafaring career at the various maritime training schools. We are particularly proud that our pioneering program, suitably entitled Adopt a Ship, bringing the exciting world of shipping to primary school children after 18 consecutive years, has this year reached the impressive milestone of 1,000 ships school classes participating. Finally, since 2007, we have conducted more than 400 presentations on shipping as a career, either at sea or ashore, to secondary schools and universities around Cyprus. Mr. President, setting a steady course for 2024 and beyond, the Chamber is ever ready to work with you and your government in setting goals and policies that will enhance our industry and strengthen Cyprus's maritime footprint. In this respect, we are very encouraged by your recent efforts towards achieving an upgraded EU maritime administration under the new Commission structure to be formed in autumn of this year, so as to adequately reflect the multidimensional importance that the shipping industry provides to Europe in matters of trade, energy, and political security. At the same time, and equally important, is the opportunity of the establishment of the new EU Commission for the Cyprus government to vigorously compete for an important portfolio through which it will be able to contribute productively to the complex work of the European Union. You know that our dream is to see a Cypriot Transport Commissioner. Ladies and gentlemen, concluding this address, I feel the need to express our most sincere appreciation to all our business associates mentioned in our annual report. As you are indeed too many to refer to individually, we thank you all for the invaluable cooperation we have shared all these years. My sincere appreciation also goes to my fellow board members for their continued trust and support. Last but not least, I would like to offer my sincere thanks to all the Chamber's member companies for their strong ongoing support and invaluable contribution to our work and mission, without whom Cyprus shipping would simply not exist. Mr. President, Madam President, dear guests, the Cyprus Shipping Chamber proudly celebrates 35 years of service to Cyprus and to shipping. Thank you for being with us here today. We have one more thing to do before we draw proceedings to a close. Ladies and gentlemen, Cyprus proudly celebrates 20 years of membership in the European Union this year. Similarly, the Cyprus Shipping Chamber, together with the Cyprus Union of Shipowners, proudly celebrates 20 years of active membership at EXA under the umbrella of the Joint Cyprus Shipowners Association. Today, we want to pay special tribute to Philippos Philis, Chairman and CEO of our member company, Lemisolar Navigation Limited. A true European skipper who, although is an engineer and not a captain by trade, has just completed a tremendously successful 4 years navigating EXA as Vice President and then President. His unanimous election belongs to all of Cyprus shipping and would not have been possible without the close cooperation with the CUS and is a wonderful demonstration of what we can achieve united. Under his extensive shipping knowledge, his visionary mind, and hands-on management approach, it will be no exaggeration to say that under his stewardship, EXA has been completely reshaped. Despite difficulties encountered during the COVID years, Philippos leaves EXA with a newly defined vision, mission, and values crucial to the European shipping industry's competitiveness and sustainability. Under his leadership, the Articles of Association of EXA have been completely modernized. A new membership fee structure enhancing accountability and clarity has been introduced, and he's also spearheaded the rebirth of EXA's secretariat, with 80% of the current team being recruited during his term. During his tireless presidency, he led EXA's lobbying and promotional efforts in Brussels through endless high-level meetings with European Commission officials and personal participation at countless shipping conferences, the highlight of which was the very successful European Shipping Summit held in Brussels in 2023. We are equally lucky that we had Philippos at the helm of EXA during this period of dramatic regulatory changes, and his deep knowledge and substantiated arguments helped guide the EU's thinking on the upcoming environmental challenges. All of European shipping is thankful to EXA for the acceptance of the polluter pays principle. Today, in recognition of his very successful tenure at EXA, through which he made all of Cyprus shipping proud, we would like to ask President Christodoulidis if you'd be kind enough to give Philippos his gift, our token of appreciation and recognition.
President Christodoulidis, Madam President Dimitriou, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I feel very grateful for this special honor. As the President of the Chamber has already spoken extensively about the work accomplished during my 4 years at the EXA presidency, I will not revisit those details. Instead, I want to emphasize that whatever we achieved during these 4 challenging years for European shipping is a testament to Cyprus shipping's capabilities. Our efforts have shown that we can represent not only Cyprus shipping, but the entire European shipowners community. If our presidency has been deemed constructive, it reflects positively on Cyprus as a whole, and this is the greatest personal satisfaction and reward I will take from this unique experience. It was a journey defined by discipline, determination, persistence, and relentless hard work. If you hold a deep love for your country and honor the trust bestowed upon you by the local shipping industry to represent them on the European stage, then it is imperative to leave no stone unturned in ensuring your nation's pride. The task was extremely difficult. To revitalize the association and elevate its stature to become a significant entity in European affairs, while also serving as a trusted advisor to the European Commission. I battled tirelessly, rallying the support of my board and empowering both the presidency and the secretariat to enact a bold new strategy. Following a 2-year tenure as vice president and another 2 years as president, we proudly stand tall, having accomplished really all our objectives. These achievements span from bolstering financial stability and reinforcing organizational structure to establishing ourselves as one of the most influential bodies in European and international shipping affairs. EXA now stands as a formidable shipping lobbying association, undoubtedly serving as a focal point representing the entire shipping at the European level. This would have been possible if I have been left to do it alone. One of my initial goals was to achieve unity within the association. Despite the differences between the North and the South, the Board of Directors supported the presidency with unanimous decisions. This empowered the presidency and the Secretariat to represent EXA at all bodies within the European Commission with a strong, unified voice. I particularly wish here to thank Nicholas Hadjiouannou from our CUS colleagues, who together with Themis Papadopoulos representing our chamber, jointly represented Cyprus at the EXA board and worked very closely together, showing that when we join forces in Cyprus, we can achieve a lot. I also wish to thank the Cyprus government, particularly the Shipping Ministry, for the mutually beneficial cooperation we enjoyed during those challenging years. Their support was instrumental, and I will refer only to one example, EU ETS, and the passing of the cost of the European Trade Scheme to the operators and charterers was really a great success for the shipowning industry. It will be a grave omission not to warmly thank all the chamber and board members for their solid support, which was very reassuring to have during my presidency. Last but not least, I would like to express my sincere appreciation to the Chamber Secretariat for their continued support, particularly Thomas, who is the soul of the Cyprus representation to EXA and has been standing by throughout my tenure. Dear Themis and colleagues, many thanks again for this fitting present, which shall always remind me of all the sentiments I expressed today. If I learned something from this unique experience, it is that when people in Cyprus set clear targets, diligently work towards them, and maintain a clear vision, they can achieve a great deal for our country. Thank you very much.
Excuse the emotion, but this, Mr. President, Madam President, guests and dear members, brings us to the end of our 35th Annual General Meeting, and once again, on behalf of the whole board, thank you very much for honoring us with your presence today. Before closing, let me express my own personal thanks to the media representatives covering our event, and of course, our own board of directors for the support we receive all these years, and my own office team for the sterling support they offer us in order to achieve this annual general meeting without any real problems. You are now all invited outside at the Vista Terrace for the reception, which is expertly organized by our fine guest, the Four Seasons Hotel. Thank you once again for coming.